Good morning, boys and girls. I am here to go over how to tell about the beginning, middle, and end of the story that we are reading this week, or any story actually. But I'm going to give you some ideas and kind of coach you through what to do when you are summarizing a story. So, what I need you to do again is to go get your pages 152 and 153, the red and yellow coat. And I also need you to get page 156. So go ahead and go do that. That needs to be handy in order for you to be able to do this activity. So today you're going to be working on beginning, middle, and end. So you're going to be doing some writing. You're going to fill in the chart about the red and yellow coat that talks. You're going to be telling about what happens at the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. So, but before you do that, let's talk about what that means. When you are doing that, boys and girls, you are summarizing or telling about the story. You are to do this in your own words. So the story should be familiar by now to you. If not, you can go back and reread it. In other words, what it means to summarize means our brains can sum up what's happened in the story or what information the text has given us, and we use our own words to describe this. Okay, so if you need to pause this video right here, go ahead and do so before you get into telling about the story. I'm going to switch screens. And let's talk about what it means to summarize and which is telling about the beginning, middle, and end. So this is what I have done. This kind of looks like your sheet, but you're not going to write down what I've written down. This is what I need you to include in each box. So listen carefully. So when you tell about the beginning, boys and girls, you are going to include the characters. You're going to introduce them, because if you just start talking about they did this and they did that, well, we're not going to know who they are. So when you tell about the beginning of the story, always include the characters. And so our characters are Naby, Tim, and Tricky Guy. You should also include the setting. And of course, we know where the setting is. We talked about that yesterday. The setting is in a village. And since this is a folk tale, which is also a fiction story, so you would do this with any fiction story, you include what did one of the characters want to do? In other words, which character wanted to do something and or have something happen, or what was going on with one of the main characters. Well, we know that in this story, Tricky Guy, he's the one that wanted to do something. So we need to tell in our own words, what did Tricky Guy want to do? So that's the beginning, guys. That's all you need to include. Characters, the setting, and then just tell about what in particular did one of the characters want to do. Okay? So now you can go to the middle. So the middle is the main part. This is where you tell about the problem. So yes, the middle includes the problem of the story. And so if I go back and look at the story on page 153, I can tell what the problem is. Remember, boys and girls, they were arguing. Naby and Tim were arguing about the color of the coat worn by the man. Remember, they didn't know it was Tricky Guy yet. So they were arguing about the color of the coat worn by the man in the story. And it's only because, remember, they only each saw one side of it, so that's why they were arguing about that. So that's the main thing you need to include in the middle. This is anytime you retell a story, in the middle is where the problem is included, all about the problem. Okay, so at the end, in your final box, you're going to include how the problem was solved. And that just means, guys, how was it fixed? How was it resolved? What did they do to correct the problem? And so I want you to think about what happened when Tricky Guy showed up and the boys saw the whole coat. So I want you to tell what happened. What happened when they saw the coat, the whole coat? And then when you do that, you will have concluded your retell or summarization of the story. And this will end what you have to tell. So if you have any questions at all, please contact your teacher for any further direction that you need. Have a great day.